Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here and welcome to DCS World 2.0, I was going to say 1.5, and Polychop Sim's Gazelle module. Now this is a first for me. I've not flown in DCS World 2.0 at all. Actually, I was going to wait until the 1.5 and the 2.0 modules had kind of amalgamated into one, and you had the option to fly either the Caucasus map or the Nevada map. So this is very exciting, very new. Not only am I getting to fly a brand new helicopter, but I'm getting to fly in a brand new map. So this is just a very quick look at the Gazelle, just to give you my first impressions and let you guys see what it looks like. It's a very light, manoeuvrable, fast anti-tank helicopter. Predominantly it's been used by the French and the UK, although it has been sold to many countries around the world. This particular one is the Aerospatiale Gazelle SA342M, which I believe was first flown in the 1990s at some point. It has the fenestron tail, which all of the Gazelles have, and this particular one can carry 4 Hot 3 anti-tank missiles and the Vivian sighting system, which you'll see on top of the cabin there. Something that I noticed actually just a moment ago is that the rotors are all fully animated, which is something we don't have in the Mi-8 as yet, although I believe that that's coming. It's very nice to see it all moving, and actually I can see all the controls move in the cockpit actually, even from outside view, which is very nice. If we jump inside the cockpit, you'll see that the excellent modelling continues to the inside as well, along with 2 very handsome looking pilots. I'm just going to hide my pilot body so I can see what I'm doing, and I love the detail actually, or the texturing on this overhead. You can see that it's some kind of thin plastic that's just sort of attached to the ceiling here. It's quite nice. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to very quickly start the helicopter up. This isn't a tutorial or anything like that, so you don't bother paying too much attention. I will do a proper in-depth video on the startup, and actually Polychop and a number of others have already produced excellent videos on how to achieve startup in this particular helicopter. So I'm just going to see if I can get it quickly in the air, and then I can have a little fly around McCarran International, which is where we are just now in Las Vegas, and get a little feel for the helicopter. Now, I've had it up a couple of times already, and it is rather difficult to fly. It's very twitchy. The tail in particular has this habit of swinging around when you least expect it. Once you're actually in kind of forward flight, it's pretty. Actually, it's very docile in forward flight, but if you're making turns or trying to kind of transition into a hover, it takes a lot of work. Reminds me a bit of my first few flights in the Huey. Actually, that was always rather difficult initially. Go rotor brake off. Give it just a little bit of fuel, and we should get engine start and rotors turning. I love the fact that you can see the cable cutter, sorry, from inside the cockpit, and just it looks really good. It looks very detailed. Actually, yeah, turning my head all the way around, I can see everything. I can see the rotor head. The visibility is fantastic in this cockpit. Actually, you can see why it was used for recon. I think primarily in the UK service it was a recon helicopter. Anyway, probably about time to advance that all the way. There we go. And just wait for the engine to reach its normal operating range, which it has now, and we have AC power. So let's pop on the pitot, trim system, magnetic brake. I'm going to enable the magnetic, the compass and the gyro system, turn on the INS, get the artificial horizon all ready to rumble. And this one. Backup. I'm going to turn on my flashing position lights and anti-collision. Get the radar altimeter up and running. And a warning altitude set. There we go. What else do I want? Oh yeah, autopilot. I'm going to need that. Power up the autopilot systems. What's the... I'm not going to actually use the radio, but I might as well tune it. I want 124, which is what it is in fact already tuned for, so that's perfect. Turn on the flares. Going to deploy the landing light and pop that on. turn on my formation lights. The sound is really good on this module as well. I love the way the Gazelle sounds. I've been around Gazelles, not particularly much, but I've seen them fly. The sound is very, very authentic sound to me. So what's it like if I open the door? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm flying with the audio as if you're hearing it inside a helmet. Mode's turned on, so it will be somewhat attenuated while I'm in the cockpit. Oh, radar warning receiver. Let's pop that on. That's a nice feature. I can see people actually flying in multiplayer formations of helicopters with a Gazelle just so that they get radar warning. It's quite good. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Can I take off without making a complete arse of this? Because it is a toughie to fly this thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. We're airborne. And let's see if we can do a quick tour of the airport first. Yeah, it's very, very smooth movements you want to be making on the collective. Sorry, on the cyclic stick. Once you get the speed up a bit, it's quite controllable. But I always have this feeling that as soon as I want to make a turn or transition into a hover, I might lose it. And in fact, a couple of times I have. So it's not just a feeling; it's a reality. Let's try my best. Also, having a bit of height helps, I guess. I'll continue my climb. So, this is a nice map, actually. It's a shame that I've not been flying with this yet. I couldn't be bothered installing a second copy of DCS World in order to enjoy this lovely map that they have in 2.0, but perhaps I should have. And the frame rate's not too bad either. You'd imagine with all of this content, all these buildings and such, like the frame rate would suffer, but it really doesn't. At least not noticeably as yet. I like the weapons officer. It's very nicely modelled. It's kind of funny having him peering about the place. He looks very serious. And unblinking, which is slightly unnerving. Okay, so I'm going to bring us down a little bit lower, around the terminal area here, and see if I can get us into a hover without completely losing control. You can feel, I'm making very, very small movements on the cyclic here. You can feel that it's extremely manoeuvrable. You know, if I wanted to, I could whip this thing around, but my concern is that I will lose control, because I have already done that a couple of times in my practice flights. In particular, if you start to let the tail come round, it seems to just want to keep going, which is a bit difficult to deal with. And as you're transitioning into the hover, you don't want too much of a side slip going on. Doesn't seem to like that. Oh, that's me. I put the power in. Yeah, I had to put a bit of power in there, and that really got the nose turning. But we've still got it, just about. Now, vortex ring is going to be a real thing here, so let's try and get her down without losing it. Nice small movements with the anti-torque pedals. Come on, get her down, get her down. I guess that's me into ground effect now, so I hit that cushion. I didn't want to continue descending. Come on, come on, come on, come on, on the skids, no roll, no roll, no roll. Oh, okay, a bit of a skid. Bit of a skid on the skids, but I guess that's what they're there for. I got it down. Yeah, I do like this. It's rather nice. I got the flare launcher set up. Oh, I think I need to pop the cover on the collective. There we go. That's more like it. We can pop flares. I can jump over to the weapons officer's side, and if I want to, I can power up the Vivian sighting system. So let's power this chappy up. Boom, there we go. I don't actually have any of the controls mapped, so I won't in fact be able to move this, I don't think. No, that doesn't particularly matter right now. This is quite nice. I like the ways in which we're going to be able to use an aircraft like this in DCS, because here you have an aircraft which provides very accurate positional information. Down here on the nadir, it's called. So you've got an exact position. Actually, let me see, can I remember which mode it is to display current position? PP, isn't PP current position? I think it is. Right, so that's my coordinates, I believe. So I've got a set of coordinates. With the Vivian sighting system, I have a direction that I'm facing in, and then with the laser rangefinder, I can laze and get a range. Now that's pretty cool because it means that I can recon and I can send target positions to other units using this aircraft, which is going to be quite cool, I think. Anyway, enough nattering. Let me fly it a little bit more for you. As you pull collective, you really do need a lot of anti-torque, and you have to be ready for it, otherwise you're going to end up swinging the tail over the place. Fly low over the car parks. Let's get it down low over these housing estates. Let's see if I can do this without hitting a bloody lamppost, which is obviously what I'm going to do right now. Oh, how did I survive that? Okay, yeah, as you can see, I've not had a huge amount of practice with this helicopter. Oh dear. So, I guess the final recommendation, should you buy it? And I would say yes. I would say it's definitely, it's a first release. This is the first aircraft that Polychop have come out with. I would say exterior model, fantastic. Interior modelling, fantastic. Systems modelling, actually surprisingly good. Usually you find when people release their first model, the systems get somewhat neglected, not all the radios work or whatever. I'm not really seeing that. The only thing I've noticed in the cockpit that's not modelled yet is the IFF. And actually, unless you're playing with a radio plug-in like Universe Radio or Ares, that doesn't even matter. So, Polychop, well done, top marks. This is an excellent first module. I'm not 100% sure about some things like the trim and the flight model, but this is an extremely high performance, manoeuvrable helicopter. So maybe this is just what it's like in the real world. It maybe just is very, very twitchy. But yeah, should you buy it? Absolutely, it's brilliant. I'm having a lot of fun with this module, and very excited to see what Polychop come up with next. Of course, they've got the BO, is it the BO 109 they've got coming next? And also, of course, the hints about the Tornado, which would be absolutely fantastic. So, anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.